Hey guys, it's Miss Hebel here. Hope everyone's doing well. Today our lesson has to do with adding and subtracting whole numbers and decimals. So let's take a look at our content objective. 4.4a says, I can add and subtract whole numbers and decimals to the hundredths place using the standard algorithm. Okay, so if you do not have a printer, if you didn't have access to a printer, when we start example 1, I want you to pause the video so that you can write the story down in your notebook. So go ahead and pause if you need to write it down. All right, so look at example 1. Example 1 says, Miss Crawford's class measured the lengths of flatworms. Taylor's worm measured 1 7/75 inches long, and Mel's worm measured 1 5/10 inches long. What is the total length of the two flatworms? All right, so let's look at the information from the story. Okay, remember when we always do problem solving stories, we want to always look for the important information from the story. So I know that I'm going to need the number 1 7/75 inches long, so I'm going to circle that. And I'm also going to need the number 1 5/10 inches long. I'm going to circle that. I know I'm going to need both of those numbers because they both have to do with the lengths of the worms, and that is what our question is asking us to find out. All right, so look at the question. What is the total length of the two flatworms? All right, I want you to focus on that question, and I see a word in that question that is going to help us, kind of like a clue word. It's going to help us understand whether we're going to add or subtract. So I want you to look. What do you think that word is in that story that's telling us whether we're going to add or subtract? Very good. The word total. So let's circle the word total. So what is the total length of the two flatworms? Remember, anytime we are wanting to find the total of something, that tells us we are going to add. So I'm going to write my clue word right here, add. All right, so now let's look at our information here. You'll notice that both of these numbers have whole numbers and decimals. So remember from the beginning of the year towards, when we did this before in class, one thing I stressed all the time, and we said it over and over, was to always line up your decimals. So the easiest thing to do is to take your first number and write it. So I'm going to write 1.75. Now, when I'm going to put my second number underneath so that I can add, I'm always going to start out writing my decimal beneath first to make sure I'm going to line it up right beneath that top decimal, so that if I was to draw a vertical line, it would be exactly straight, vertically straight. Once I have that decimal in the right position, then I can plug in the numbers from my story, from my second number here. So I'm going to take my 5. I see it's in the tenths place. I know the tenths place is right to the right of the decimal. So my 5 needs to go beneath the 7. Then I'm going to look up here, and my 1 is in the ones place. So I'm going to bring that 1 and put it to the left of the decimal. Now if I look at my two numbers, I can see that every place value position and my decimals as well are all lined up in straight vertical rows. Now, you notice there's not a digit here in the hundredths place for my second number, but that's okay. We learned you could just put a what? A placeholder 0 to mark your place. So now, put your plus sign, and you are ready to add. All right, so let's go ahead and add. 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. Now, I can't write 12 down in my tenths column, so I know I have to place my 2, and I'm going to carry that 1 into the ones place. So now if I add, I have 1, 2, and 3. So now I can bring my 3 down in my answer space, and here are my decimals, and same thing as when I'm placing them, being in a straight line, I want to also bring that decimal down into my answer. So now I can say that the length of the worms is 3 and 25 inches. And there you go. There's our first example. All right, let's just scoot your paper down if you have this printable. If not, again, make sure you're in your notebook and go ahead and pause the video so that you can write this story down. All right, so let's look at example 2. It reads, Miss Hebel made a training plan to run 5 6/10 miles per day. So far, she has run 3 9/10 miles today. How much farther does she have to run to meet her goal for today? All right, so let's go through again and pick out our important information. Our story is asking about how far she has to run, so I know I'm going to need both of these pieces of information. So I'm going to circle 5 6/10 miles, and I'm also going to circle 3 9/10 miles. All right, so there's my pieces of information that I circled. Look at my question. It says, how much farther does she have to run to meet her goal for today? So I'm going to underline that question. Now, look at this question. I need to look for a clue word, and I don't have anything simple like total or how much is left, anything like that. But there is a clue word that's going to tell me, going to give me a little bit of hints as to what I need to do. How much farther does she have to run to meet her goal? So what do you think? Very good. The word farther, okay? The word farther tells us that she has only run part of the way. She hasn't run the whole way or the total. Okay, she hasn't run that second part yet, but we do have the total that she's supposed to run that's in our story right here. So when we have a total and we have a part, we have to find the other part. And to do that, that's going to tell us we're going to subtract. When we have a whole or a total and we have one part, we are going to subtract to find the other part. So let's, we're going to pull our numbers down into our workspace here. So I'll give you a minute to write 5.6. We're going to start with 5.6 or 5 6/10. So let's write 5 6/10. Okay. Now, just like in our first example, we've got to place, excuse me. All right, so bring down your 3 9/10. So again, you're going to put your decimal right there so that it is lined up. And then you're just going to plug in the 9, plug in the 3. And since I know we're subtracting, I am ready to subtract. All right, if you look in the tens place, if you have 6, can you subtract 9? No, very good. So we're going to have to borrow. So we go to the 5. The 5 becomes a 4. We bring that group of 10 and move it over to the 6 to make it 16. And 16 minus 9 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. And bring your decimal down directly into your answer. So now I can say that she still has to run 1 7/10 miles to reach her goal. All right. Okay, so we've seen 2 examples, an adding decimal example and a subtraction decimal example. So if you have any questions, message me in your Google Classroom. Remember to always line up your decimals. That's the most important thing, and make sure your place value numbers are lined up vertically. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.